Hello. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome, everybody, and thank you all those who are connecting every day. So, today there are no, there's no wedding today. Um, Here it's getting cooler at night, so weddings are only allowed in open places. So I guess it's better for me. I think there is a wedding, but it's in the other side. Um, I can hear the music. Sorry, but I'm tired. Uh, so I am a little bit lost because as always, as every day, I just say, "Oh my God, it's 5 minutes to 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 the alignment." So you already know that I don't prepare anything. So I just connect and so whatever. I don't have anything to hide. So the topic to discuss today is egoism and egocentrism. So how is it? How is that going with you? So you take it well. So what we are going to discuss today is about the ego, and it's something that I have spoken about this in previous videos, but I guess it's something really important um, to acknowledge, to remember, to understand once and again. For all of you who hadn't heard this before, and for everyone that have heard about this, and we still don't catch up. And it's about the concept of ego, that we usually have this ego, even if it is like kind of a sin, and it's not like that. Okay, so we have to understand what it is. So basically, what we believe about the ego is that is something that separates ourselves from the others and that makes us think that we are better than others. So we usually think that that egoism would be something that that we defined selfish, like the egoism, like selfish, of that person that is willing to have all the things for himself, for itself, and the egocentrism, egocentric person, that person that thinks that they are the center of everything and that nothing else really matters besides their own. So along the history, these two concepts created a perception that the ego is like the bad guy of the movie. So we usually used to say that from the perspective of religions, of philosophies, and spirituality we have now, and of course all the religions in the world, used to say that the ego is that part of the self that that is not thinking about the others, that is not the one helping, that it's selfish. So we have to get rid of the ego. So as always, to understand why we call the ego as something bad, something evil, we have to go to the past, as always, to understand the origin of things. So basically, let's start about the meaning. So ego is the word for the Greek culture and the Greek languages, and also the Latin languages after the Greek, to say I, so, or me. So when I say ego, Matias, is the same as saying it's me, Matias, or I. So starting by the basis of all this, ego refers to the person, to the individual. So ego is just a pronoun. That's it. Simple as that. So in our civilization today, we have given a lot of importance to the ego, to the individual, because as we are doing now, I am speaking to you, so you are listening to me, because I am here, one person, oneself, talking, showing everything that I am. Okay, so there are thousands like me doing the exact same in the social media, showing their personalities, their person with the world. So this is a civilization that has given a new meaning to the individual. So that's why we call this civilization like an individualistic civilization, because we have the possibility to talk one by one. So the reason why the ego in our civilization is so important is because we are now in the possibility, we have now the possibility that one person can speak with many other people just like this. Very simple. So it's easy for the self, the individual, the personality to everyone. So this is something very common for us today, but in history hasn't been like that. From the very beginning of our cultures and civilization, the main goal was to survive, and the group was something really useful for the individuals to survive. So it was more important the group of people working together than an individual speaking one by one. So basically, the group was the most important. So if someone put himself or herself over the rest of the group, it's like giving the back to the group. So basically, in the first stages of humanity, you couldn't survive by yourself. You needed the group in order to survive winter, to survive a war, to survive hunger. You needed rest in order to to stay alive. So this creates a concept in the group, the culture and religion, that to be an individual separated from others would be a risk and would be very bad. Okay? So what these cultures and religions said is there is no one better than anyone. In order to keep going, in order to survive, what we have to do is to help one another, is to be there for the other one. So we have to share, to be all of us together as one. No one is more important. The group is important. So with time, this concept created the belief that being an individual was something bad. So basically, this made the idea that that if you were someone saying, I know how to do it better, or I have a better solution, or I want to do something different. So you were, how do you say hereje in English? I don't know the word. You were like someone against blasphemy, someone against group, like an enemy. So from these concepts, we have been creating these two different things that we call egoism and egocentrism. So basically, what some of these people realized is that if everybody stays together as one, there is no growth because everything is kind of the same. But the people that can make the difference, that's what you say, make the difference, are those that are seen that they can do something different or better. So through time, the New Age has inherited this same concept, and still today they usually say to be selfish, to have ego is something bad, and you shouldn't have ego. You have to go away from ego so you could be free or spiritual. But we have inherited that from religion. So what did the spirituality of today made of the egoism and egocentrism? They made egocentrism as essence. They call it essence, and they made the egoism as empowerment, to empower yourself. They are the same things called in a different way. So you have heard these words of go back to the center, stay in your axis, go back to yourself, back to the core of your heart. All that is egocentrism because it's the ego, I, going to the center. So go back to the center is egocentrism. It's very easy. It's just another name for that. So when we used to say, go back to the core, to the center, and find the S within yourself, is the same as saying, hey, you ego, go back to the center. Egocentrism. So, and there's another thing. When you say empower yourself, you have to empower your inner self. So you can create your own reality. You can change your world. You can change the reality. You can do whatever you want to do because you are the creator of everything. That is called egoism, selfishness. Because the ego moves, and egoism means ego moving. Ism comes from the Greek word movement. The ego is moving to create. So just picture, isn't what we have done just to change the world, the word, to something that we don't want to hear, and we just call it a little bit better? I don't know if you know the expression, but I would say it's the same shit with a different smell. So what is the goal of this month? The goal of this month is the balance, to find the equilibrium. So why are we going to balance these concepts? Because what we used to have is these two concepts unbalanced. And this is what we are going to explain now. This is what we used to call egoism and egocentrism. So let's picture this in order to understand it. Picture the Earth. The Earth has a North Pole and a South Pole, and from there it spins over itself in the same axis of itself. So the Earth is egocentric, okay? Egocentric, because it's just spinning on itself, on the axis of herself, okay? Egocentric. So, in the other hand, what we have is this movement of the Earth. This movement is called how do you call it in English? I don't know. Translation? Well, is this movement that creates the equinox and solstices. Okay, translation. Okay, the translation is the process that creates summer, winter, and so on. So this is the movement of the Earth. So we call it egoism. Okay, egoism. So so basically, the movement of the Earth is session. I just made a mistake because translation is to move around, is to translate. So that's it. So egoism and egocentrism. So what we would say is that the egocentrism is the one that allows the self to be spinning in itself in the axis, and the other one allows the transformation of the self concept. The egoism allows the transformation. So this concept helps us to understand that to be in the center, to have the egocentrism, is to be in the axis, in the center of yourself. And also, by the movement of the egoism, I am allowing myself to transform my reality, even if I am still in my center. So, when do we have the problem? When the axis, the center, is not precisely in the center, is moved. So the spin is not in the center, but it's moving in any direction. And in the other hand, the movement of transformation is not in order, but is chaotic. Whatever. Okay? So the problem that we have is not egoism and egocentrism. Those are not the problems. The problem is that we haven't been worked properly with these two concepts, denying them in our lives. So our center is lost and our transformation has become in change, which is very different. So what do we have to do? We should not eliminate the ego. What we have to do is to balance the ego. Okay? To eliminate the ego is basically disappear, to not exist. So the negative aspects of the egoism and egocentrism that we have is due to the incapacity that we have to put them in order. to balance, to use them properly. See? So, as always and everything in life, there is no good, no bad. There is only unbalanced. So, one of the most important things that we have to understand in our life for everything is that there is nothing that is bad and nothing that is good. There's only things that are balanced or unbalanced. That's it. So our only task in our life is to balance them. And of course, the question would be, how do we balance them? So basically, what we have to do at first is to find the axis of that conflict. And the axis would be the seed, the center, the core of that conflict. So once I know about the seed, I start to recognize the purpose. So when I understand the purpose, I can see the changes that this axis has created. So through the changes that it has created in life, you can understand then how to transform reality, from where you have to transform them. And there is the problem that we have in our lives, that there is no one way to balance things, that each one of us has a different way to find the balance. So that is your task to find. So one of the things that, of course, we are going to speak a lot of all of this in other videos, because we should, but don't make right now the specific questions. First, you have to acknowledge and understand the map, the basis of all those other questions. So once you understand the two main concepts through where the other are born, then you can start to work on that. I was just thinking that, oh my God, I should explain this, but I say, no, wait a moment. We have 270 days more. The vibration for today is fear. The statement for today is, I am connections flux. Just one thing that I wanted to say. First of all, thank you for some people that is giving me advices of how to make some corrections in English, because of course English is not my language, and I am trying to do my best with the English I know that I study in school and in movies. So thank you for some of the advices, but also I wanted to say that some people were telling me about flux, the word flux, that it's better to say flow, but I'm not specifically talking about the flow of things. I'm talking about specifically more organic, so the flux. I'm not talking about about the flow in between the things. I want to be more specific, so that's why I'm using flux, more like in the body, like the flux of blood, or the changes in between the different parts of the body. Okay, so that's what I was trying to use. Um, so that. So the code for today is Trinity, and it says, two forces, no matter which ones, have the potentiality to create, and what is created is the neutral product of polarity. Thus, Trinity is the concept of all creation itself, reason for what we know divinity inevitably as a trine aspect. Sound, light, and form, vibration, energy, and matter, mother, father, and child, proton, electron, and neutron, music, art, and architecture, mineral, vegetal, and animal. I am the flux of connections. So let's go to the alignment. Um, Sorry for all the noises that I'm doing like this, but I guess I'm experiencing my 80 years old already, and I'm doing all the noises that I was expecting to do um um I'm supposed to be 80 years old, but I don't know. I'm doing them all. So first of all, sit comfortable, stretch the body, caress the body, and yawn. And as I relax myself, I let all the weight fall down. I take a deep breath, feeling the air coming inside and transforming each one of my organs into wind. I feel the air, the wind around me, connecting with the wind within me, becoming one. I feel the energy of my body, starting to move in the shape of a spiral with the wind within my body. I perceive each one of the colors. I feel the energy of my soul expressing itself through the skin, expanding around with the wind as a twister, with the colors of a rainbow. Take a breath. I put my hands facing the sky at the height of my heart. I become aware of the light of the I Am shining over me like a sun coming towards me. I perceive the light coming through my body from the crown, through the third eye, the throat, heart, and anchoring in the plexus with a beautiful yellow light. As I breathe, I perceive my plexus expanding its light, brighter as a sun, filling up my hands with this beautiful light that makes them shine like two other suns, stars. These two suns are the center that reminds me who I am. I feel that in one hand I have my egocentrism, and in the other one I have my egoism. I recognize that through all my life, I have made a bad use of both of them. Sometimes I have been egocentric, and in other times I have been selfish. I become aware that the only one mistake in both of them have been my imbalance. So I become aware that these two concepts are useful for me. Egocentric reminds me that I have to be in my center. I have to find the center of myself. And the egoism is reminding me that I can transform myself, that I can empower my being. So it's like this, that I will use my sound to balance both of these concepts, to become harmonious with everything that I am. I bring my hands to my heart, unifying these two concepts. And I unify them with my vibration. I am the flux of all connections. I am the flux of all connections. I am the flux of all connections. I recognize the power to be in the center. I am. Take a deep breath and begin to bring this consciousness through all your body by carrying, stretching and yawning. And slowly I come back here and now, opening your eyes. hope you're all fine. You're well. As always, drink a lot of water, rest a lot. You could assimilate information. So also for all the people that is asking, I remind you that all the information is in the blog, and you can find the blog yosoy.red. Yosoy is I am Spanish, and red, like the color, means network in Spanish. So also thank you everybody for putting like in this video, so a lot of people could reach it. See you tomorrow at time. Bye.